Because too young, because not experience, and unfortunately for them, they have been all wrong. All the ones, you know, that they have the truth and they have the answer for everything. So in English, I would say F off to all of them.
Yeah, that clip never gets old. Just a reminder to all of you, all the one that know. Actually, one more time.
Because too young, because not experience, and unfortunately for them, they have been all wrong. All the ones, you know, that they have the truth and they have the answer for everything. So in English, I would say F off to all of them.
All the ones that have the truth, that know the answers. All the ones that are realistic. How do you say in English? F off. F off. You F off. Hey, it's just simply said. Big up every single one of you. What is going on? Welcome to the Chelsea Hour. I am your host, Marshall DBDX, Casually FC, Marshall DBDX, Marshall DBDX, Marshall DBDX, whatever. Sorry I'm late. I got a little caught up with work, but I'm here. We're ready to do the show. We're ready to do the hour. And if you are just tuning in, be sure to smash up the like button. It helps out tremendously. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel if you are new here, because we are on our way to 5K. Wow, excuse me. We've been trying to grow the channel, trying to grow the community, and as a result, you guys have been partaking in that, and it's been going, and we want to keep it going. So let's keep the momentum up by continuing to subscribe, continuing to hit the bell notification if you want to be notified whenever we do go live, and likes. Check out the links in the description. I don't know if you guys are actually checking out the links in the description. There's plenty of content in there, plenty of channels to look into and like subscribe to. So I definitely recommend it. Definitely put some time into just checking out what's available for you there. I made it easy so that you didn't have to go look for it. If you like the people that you see on the panel from time to time here on Casually FC, you'll find their channels down below. So yeah, just click the show more and check out what's down there, and hopefully you enjoy some of the content you find there. Because I know sometimes when I'm watching content on YouTube, I run dry. I'm picky. I run a little dry, so I can always rely on some of the channels below to find some good content there to entertain me and let the day pass me by, right? But yeah, big up wow, tongue twister. Big up every single one of you. Yeah, so Chelsea, yeah, that's something we're going to talk about. Hopefully every single one of you are doing good. And hopefully the majority of you guys in chat are not panicking. Because, yeah, there's obviously... Actually, you know what? Let me just show you guys the tweet. This is the tweet. I called it way before it was going to happen. And just like clockwork, it happened. And let me show you guys what I am referring to as soon as I find it. Here we go. And again, I don't claim to be super active on Twitter. I don't know the Twitter game, people. I don't. Big up to every single one of you in chat. Natalie, Not Yandu, Benjamin Thang. This is what I said. I know there's a lot of you Chelsea fans, quote unquote, just lingering in the shadows, just waiting to hate on this team. Even some of the matchgoers. I'm not convinced one bit that the fans are all on the same page. Some are wolves in sheep skin. Me and Lavia are keeping receipts. I just realized I hate how Twitter's notifications work because it doesn't tell you when people like comment on your shit. That's genuinely so cringe knowing how we are literally in the depths of hell not so long ago. Bunch of weirdos, man. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Big up, Coco. Yeah. And just like clockwork, a lot of these fans came out of the woodwork and started saying Maresca out and all that bullshit about like our season's done. Oh, we're cooked. Yeah, PYS saying we're not going to get a center back and he's just coming out. We're so cooked. Like, fuck off. People, I feel like nowadays don't know how to use the English language anymore. Like even Ahmed doesn't from time to time. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all of our signings have failed. All of our signings have been flops. It's like, no, they've not been. All of our signings have not been flops. You could say most of them maybe, or some of them, but not all of them. All of them would mean a 0% success rate. Shit like that. Like that's just an example. And I don't even know if Ahmed actually said that, right? But it's just an example, right, of people just going overboard. When I hear someone say, just like, okay, I'm fighting against, you know what? Hold on. Because this is actually going to go against my argument. Okay. Struggle. Make forceful or violent efforts to get free or restraint or constriction. A forceful or violent effort to get free or restraint or resist attack. Okay. Maybe another one here. To make a strenuous or violent efforts in face of difficulties or oppositions. To proceed with difficulty or with great effort. The dictionary in the UK is totally different than the dictionary in the States. You guys remember I said this the other day, and what was read to me is that failing was included in that. To try really hard and come out as a failure. That's not what I meant by struggle. This is what I meant by struggle. This actual definition here that I'm putting in front of you, right? Also, great way to start the show, Marshall. Let's have fucking vocabulary definition lessons here on Casually FC. Let's fucking go.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Primetime content. But this is what I meant, right? Like, when I say words, I try to actually like say what I mean. And when I said Achimpong struggled against Mateta, I didn't mean that he failed, but it didn't look easy. Mateta gave him a really hard time. He came out at the other end, but Mateta gave him a really hard time, which makes me nervous because if you go up against an Isak, if you go up against maybe honestly Isak or an Erling Haaland, it makes me scared that a better striker could give you that ring around and come out victorious on that. And that's kind of what I meant when I said struggle. The same thing goes with other words like, oh, we're cooked, right? When you say we're cooked, what I interpret that is that we're fucked. We're going to lose. We're not going to succeed. Which, I'm sorry, if your reaction to not getting a center back in this window because Levi Colwill had a boo-boo, then you're a lost cause. I'm sorry. That's my opinion, people, on the whole center back situation. I think we're gonna be fine. I genuinely think we're gonna be fine. And people wanna have short-term memory and forget that Maresca also said the same thing about having a striker and all that last season, and he did just fine. He struggled, and we all know he struggled, but he had more issues than just not having a striker. He had a defensive. how do I word this? He had slim pickings when it came to choosing defenders, which he struggled with, right? We struggled with in the beginning. Didn't have the most optimal goalkeeper. And then when it came to the attack, didn't have the most optimal attack either. So he had a lot of things to deal with, and he still made a meal of it. Yeah, not even made a meal of it, but like he still did the best of what he could do. And we ended up getting top 4, winning Conference League and winning World Cup, right? Now this season, let's be real. He's been really well backed. And defensively is the only thing you can look at and be like, okay, there might be some issues. Well, not the only thing. Okay, I'll include Sanchez in that defensively thing. Defensively, it's the only thing you look at and you're like, okay, probably need a better goalkeeper, and maybe we could use another center back. But it's crazy because a lot of people came out of that Crystal Palace game saying Achapong did a great job. He was one of our best players. Same people saying we need another center back. Make it make sense. Did he do good enough that we don't need another center back? Or was he so bad that we need another center back? Because that's the way I look at it, people. The way I look at it is that as long as we have center backs, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine because to me, it doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make much sense to bring in a center back unless it's Bastoni or Hincapié or like a levels, like even Murillo, right? I'll put Murillo in there. Someone who could potentially even bench Colwell, right? It doesn't make sense to bring in a center back just to temporarily fill in a hole for the lack of Levi Colwell. Because, and we'll talk on the game, because what happens when Levi Colwell comes back? What happens to that center back? And if Levi Colwell does come back, we do get another center back, then I personally think one of these center backs has to go. Because at that point, I think we have way too many. I think we have too many as it is anyways. But people at Chelsea are addicted to dopamine, and as a result, they just want another signing. So it is. Yeah, you could think it's a crazy take, but that is what it is. Yeah, I think the center back thing is fine. I think people are overreacting. I understand that on the ball, Achapong wasn't great, but Maresca finds solutions. He found a solution with the striker situation, although it wasn't a great solution. Figured out something or a workaround with the winger situation. Managed to make the center backs work just fine last season at the latter half. And even with the whole goalkeeper thing, found out a solution with that. Not the best solution, but it's regardless an improvement of where things were when the season started. So I do believe that Maresca can find solutions and find a way to work around the lack of certain positions being available. And I think even he would understand, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to get this outstanding signing. Like I said, unless it's a level raiser. Like, level raiser would be Bastoni for me. Hincapié would be there for me. I would even who did I say before? Oh, I would even put Murillo in that because I think Murillo's been great. It just, for me, doesn't make sense to bring in that kind of a signing just so that when Levi Colwell comes back, either Levi Colwell gets benched and he's disgruntled with his game time, or that player that we just brought in just gets his game time cut. It just doesn't make sense from a team building perspective. Like, you got to remember that this project is a long-term project, not a short-term project. And I know, like, okay, let's talk about the game. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I need like a be right back screen because in case I have to go to the bathroom, because I feel my bladder just saying, hey, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom soon and you still have 45 minutes to go. Anyways, let's talk about the game. Obviously, not the ideal result. Not the ideal result. I predicted that we were gonna win 3-0. And then I learned the hard way that or not even learned. I predicted the hard way that Crystal Palace is still a good team. Like, I've been having to reevaluate my predictions for the season because obviously we're going to do predictions soon on the channel. And I'm thinking Crystal Palace is probably going to make my top 8. They're a good side. They're a good side. Like, Mateta. Let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at the lineup. Actually, let me pull up the lineup real quick. Crystal Palace, no, and that's the other thing. You guys got to remember too. Like our last 2 encounters with Crystal Palace, we've drawn, so we've not been able to beat them last season, and right now we're on track to not beat them again. Okay, so starting off with the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. Some of you would probably consider taking Dean Henderson in your team at Chelsea. Some of you probably don't rate him. Some of you probably still rate him, but you wouldn't take him at Chelsea. So Dean Henderson is a mixed bag of reactions, in my opinion. So he's a decent goalkeeper. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because we didn't really test him that much, right? But Dean Henderson isn't shit. He's not, for example, Adrian. He's not Kepa. He's probably better than those two. But he's not like levels ahead of like fucking Ederson or Allison, Raya, so on and so forth. So he's not that level of goalkeeper, right? But he's a decent goalkeeper and a promising prospect. So I'm not going to say Dean Henderson is shit. So then you have Chris Richards, LaCroix, and Marguehi. Chris Richards, who looks like he's been having a much needed improvement to his development in terms of as a center back. He looks like he's improving, which is great because I need that for U.S. men's national team. Not that I care because it's Pochettino, but just after Pochettino, I'm going to need that. LaCroix, some people still rate him. He's decent. Mark Gahey, he was linked to our team, and a lot of people, including myself, wanted him at Chelsea. So he's Chelsea level, right? If we want him at Chelsea, then we want to consider him probably Chelsea level player. Munoz, probably one of the better right backs, right wing backs in the league last season. Very good attacking output. Starter for Ecuador, an Ecuadorian international. And people rate him relatively highly. I'm surprised he's still at Crystal Palace. I thought he would have went to like a Bayern or a Leverkusen, like a German league team, because he's just so attacking output driven. But yeah, he's not a bad wing back by any means. Adam Wharton, people want him at the club. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys actually want him at Chelsea. Like, he is a good midfielder, a really good midfielder. People are saying, oh, get him at City, get him at Liverpool. This is that level of a player that you want them at that team, right? Like, even people are saying he should go to United, which I agree. I think United would be a great move for him because United are desperate for a player like Adam Wharton. But he's priced at like over 100K or 100 mil. That's not a scrub. That's a decent player. Hughes, he's just what you typically need in a team, that bully, that shithouser, like what Joe Ellington is for Newcastle. And he literally is proper shithouse. Like, I fucking despise the guy. He pisses me the fuck off. He's the type of player you want on your team, but you don't want to play against. He's not great. He's not like generational, but he gets a job done. He's like almost like not McAtee. Who's the guy I'm thinking of from oh my God, chat. What I love about you guys in chat is that you're always so helpful. And whenever I can't remember names, you guys help me out big time. Who is the McGinn? Never mind. Don't need you, chat. Fuck you, chat. No, I'm just kidding. McGinn. So he's like the McGinn of, probably a lesser version of McGinn, to be honest. But he's like the McGinn of Crystal Palace from Aston Villa, where he just does the dirty work. He you know, he's just your generic 8. Nothing really special, nothing really to highlight, but he's there, he does a job, and he helps out when needs be, and he rises up to the call of duty, you know? Hughes is all right. Probably not one of the better players there. Mitchell's been okay. I mean, I'm not going to say he's class. He's an all right player. So that's 3 players you could say that are all right. Like, I would put Richards in there. I'd put Hughes in there and Mitchell, who are all right, maybe mid players, right? LaCroix, I would say, is a good player. Gahey is a good player. Munoz, good player. Adam Morton, good player. Ismail Assar, another player that could potentially make a move to another club, a bigger club. He is relatively good for them. He's actually done decently for Crystal Palace in the last, 2 seasons he's been there? Ismail Assar. Sorry, I said his name wrong. Let's look at his transfer market real quick. And the only reason I'm doing this, guys, is because I want to put into perspective that we didn't necessarily go up against a shitty team, but we went up against a pretty goddamn decent team. Now, if this thing would just load, that'd be fantastic. I would really appreciate it. Transfer market, if you're ever watching this video, can I just say, can you please just make your page run better? Because you're heavily relied on, and there are pages that just run so much better than this. It's just not efficient, and you need to literally get your shit together. So please, fix up your shit and pack it up and get it all up out of here. All right, 24, 25. Just so you guys are aware of Ismail Assar. Ismail Assar, 38 games for Crystal Palace. He's a starter. 8 goals, 7 assists. As a midfielder, attacking mid for the most part. That's not bad. That's not bad for a Crystal Palace side. That's not bad. So Ismail Assar is a decent player. And he did have his contributions when it came to the cups, Carabao Cup and FA Cup. So yeah, another decent player. I don't think he's Chelsea level. I could see him going to like an Arsenal maybe or a Tottenham. He's a decent player. So Ismail Assar is no scrub either. Eze, we all know about Eze, and Mateta, who people were saying, yo, bring Mateta to Chelsea. Like, again, this idea that Crystal Palace is a shit team and we need to dominate them and easily beat them and trample them. Like, even telling myself this, like, no, they're not an easy team. They're a relatively good team. There's a reason they won the FA Cup and beat Man City. There's a reason that they beat Liverpool, I believe, right, in Community Shield. Like, these guys aren't any pushovers. So the fact that we got a point out of it, you know, obviously I'm disappointed that we didn't win. And especially considering we had clear-cut chances. We had open net chances, but our shooting boots were, you know, from the moon. So with that being said, it's like, it puts into perspective that these players are relatively decent players. We played against a relatively decent team. And obviously on the day we need to do better. But yeah, it's frustrating. I get it, guys, but this is the shit that happens, right? Like, sometimes you're going to have these games. Guys, I'm so sorry. My bladder is not holding out. I'm going to play this video real quick while I go use the bathroom. Okay? I'll be right the fuck back. I promise. I'm so sorry.
Next week against Shamrock Rovers. You'll ball out there probably because Shamrock is shit. And, you know, and then it's like, and then we'll see him in probably a third round against
ball. All this disrespect against Shamrock Rovers. When you guys don't beat us, Marshall, I deserve a segment. Okay?
When you guys don't beat us,
you will get a
segment,
Thursday,
right?
You will not like the segment you get. You will not like the segment you get next. You're going to disown Shamrock and play it off. Like, oh, I'm glad my team won this. I'm glad my team beat Shamrock. I know what you're going to do.
Surfer, you don't know. Regardless of what the result is, by the way. Regardless, it's going to be.
I know what the result's going to be. We're going to absolutely destroy you.
So okay, you know what? Can we do score predictions?
It's gonna be Chamro's gonna be a 20v1. If you know what that means, you know what that means.
So I want it on record. I want it on record of what you guys predicted.
5-0.
I'm gonna say 4-0.
Oh wow, okay. RSM?
Yeah, probably 3-0. I'm gonna be with you.
Chris?
7-0.
Okay. And then, what did you say?
7. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
9-1. 9-1.
Marshall, you.
4-1.
I'm just gonna
Go
change
on.
my
Yeah.
scoreline.
Oh.
Prime, I'm gonna change my scoreline. I'm gonna say 21.
Realistically, I think we will. I think we'll narrowly lose 2-1.
That's a classic for you guys. Thank you for waiting. Sorry. Back to what I was saying. Big up Shamrock Rovers. So back to what I was saying. I don't think it's necessarily a bad result. It could have been better. Obviously, I'm not going to lower my standards. I said we're Club World Cup champions, and I stand on business on that. And I do believe we are going to win the Champions League. Obviously, because I have nothing really to lose on that one. Like, I might as well back my team, right? It's hard to predict. I think Barcelona are probably favorites, but I would put our team as favorites as well. But in terms of that, like I was saying, on the day, we should have won that game. Obviously, people are going to be all in their feelings and saying, "Oh no, Chelsea, our season's done. We're over. Maresca out and all this shit." Here's what I got to say to this.
Beta!
Y'all some bitches.
Beta!
Y'all some real high-class bitches.
Beta!
Yeah.
Y'all some bitches. That's what I gotta say. Because, guys, are we really gonna pretend that, first of all, let's look at Liverpool's game, right? They won 4-2. Perfect. It looked like they were gonna lose the game at one point. And I'll also say right now, Crystal Palace are a much better side than Bournemouth. As things stand right now, their best player is Semenyo. I think most of you will not argue that. And most of you will probably take Eze over Semenyo because Eze is a better player. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat. I could be wrong. I know some of you have your opinion, and I will read the chat in a moment. But like, Crystal Palace is just a better quality side than Bournemouth. My point in saying that is that the truth of the matter is, fuck, sorry, hiccup, goddamn, so sorry. The truth of the matter in saying that is that, brother, Liverpool almost lost to a shitty Bournemouth. A Bournemouth that doesn't have nearly the same defense. Actually, a Bournemouth that doesn't have the same defense at all that it did last year. Outside of maybe Senesi. Was Senesi even there? I don't even know. Let's look at that. Premier League. Full schedule. Bournemouth, Liverpool. Okay. Okay, Senesi was there. And Trufer. Was Trufer wasn't in. Yeah, Trufer wasn't a. Yeah, Trufer was a new player. Trufer is actually not a bad shout, but everything else, Daikite, Smith, Adam Smith, all these players are brand new players outside of Senesi. Senesi's the only player in that team that was from Bournemouth last season. So like, yeah, they're not going to have the chemistry. Even the goalkeeper's new. It's not Kepa, it's Petrovic. And he had a stinker. I'm not going to lie to you guys. He had a stinker. And I back Petrovic. I do think he's going to turn it around. I do think Petrovic is going to have a better season. But for an opener, they were shit. They were shit. I'm surprised that they lasted as long as they did. I thought they were going to win at one point. And that goes to show just how shit Liverpool was on the day. They got lucky. Let's be honest, guys. They got lucky because Bournemouth's defense was just so unorganized. They were so crap. They were so frantic on the ball. And as a result, they conceded 2 goals at the very end of the game. Look at Arsenal. Look at Arsenal against United, who I think United has improved. I think United are a better side than they were last season. But time will show on that one. Time will show on that one. And JP, what do you mean that I can't call it luck, dude? The fucking game-winning goal from Chiesa came in the 91st minute, 92nd minute, from the fact that the ball just came rolling into the box and the Bournemouth defense couldn't clear it. 88th minute. I'm sorry, guys. Federico Chiesa scored in the 80th minute. Before that, Bournemouth had made a comeback. And then they just lost the plot, and Salah scores a consolation goal. How the fuck is that not luck? If that was us, you would have called it luck. So my point in saying that is that, like, you look at even Arsenal up against United. We didn't perform like they did, but they got away with the win. We performed better than they did. And unfortunately, this is football, right? Like, at the end of the day, you have to win ugly sometimes, and we weren't able to do that. And that's something that I hope this team can cinch down this upcoming season, is winning ugly. Because that's something we failed to do last season. We weren't able to win ugly as often as we'd like. Yeah, we had some disgusting wins. We had some gross outcomes and results, right? And horrible football at times. But we weren't able to consistently win ugly. And in this season where a lot of clubs are reinforced and you never know, like, you can't, I feel like the Premier League is more competitive than it's ever been. Even though the top four, right? What the traditional top four, your Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, even though those clubs have reinforced broadly, I do feel that you still need to be precautious of the other teams, because I feel like those other teams are still as tough as they were last season. It's tough. Bournemouth away was ugly as fuck. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of really bad football that needs to be played, but at the end of the day, you still need to get the result, right? And we need to get better at that. The other thing to keep in mind, guys, is yes, this whole center back situation. I think here's my take on it, guys. And I already told you what I think about the transfer thing. I don't think we should do a transfer because, one, clubs are going to try to exploit the fact that we're looking for a center back, and I don't want to do overs on that. Not that it's my money, I don't care, but at the same time, it does restrict us, right? Two, there are players that we need to get rid of. Three, I'd rather just focus on getting Xavi Simons. Four, I do also think, and this is something I didn't mention before, I do also think that if you are patient enough and if you give it time, Acheampong or someone will step up to the mantle and actually perform what is needed of them, and actually perform up to scuff to the levels that we need them to perform to fulfill the duty that we need them to. Because I'll be honest, that ball through the middle, that line breaking pass, that pass from the center back was missing and does play a factor into why Enzo didn't get the ball as much, why Enzo had a bad performance, why Palmer had a bad performance, why we didn't go through the middle. If you look at the pass map that we went over on the Casually FC show the other day, or the review show the other day, it was one big circle. It was one big circle. Little meat spin, you know what I'm saying? Pause. Oh, my days, bro. Anyways, I do think, big up Vader. Check out Vader Games, guys, please. Great content creator. Gaslights a little bit, somewhat fraudulent, but I love Vader, so it's all out of love. I do feel that is something that's going to improve over time. You need to be patient. Sometimes these systems, like, look at where Chelsea were beginning of last season and look at how they are now, right? That doesn't come with impact players or, you know, players that are just going to hit the ground running and all that. It's going to come with patience and players adapting, because we do have new players in the team, guys. João Pedro, despite what you think, and I know he kicked the ground, you know, he hit the ground running. even he needs a little bit of time to really adapt to every aspect of the system, every aspect of everyone's game. I don't believe anyone is going to come into this team and immediately hit the ground running with the system. Even Esteval to an extent. Like, I know we've seen some good games from Esteval. And by the way, ladies and gents, he should have started over Gittins, right? Hindsight's 2020. He should have started over Gittins. Gittins is still raw. But even there will be games where Esteval now has to figure out how I play against this, or how I can use my system to best benefit what I need, or the job I need to do in this particular game. That stuff is going to come in time. Look at how Neto plays now versus how he played in the beginning of the season. That comes with adaptation. That comes with chemistry building and building up partnerships with certain players on the wing, with Malo Gusto or Reese, like knowing what Reese is going to do when he plays on your side of the field versus what Malo Gusto is going to do when he plays when he's on your side of the field. What happens when Lavia's in the lineup versus Enzo? Do I expect this ball from them? Like, this is all things that are going to take time. And the same goes for João Pedro. The same goes for Gittin. The same goes for Esteval. My point in saying that is that some of these performances, the performance that we saw against Crystal Palace, I feel like the only way from there is up. The only way from there is up. Now, mind you, there might be some fatigue that plays into it, obviously, because we did have only 3 weeks off since the beginning of last summer. And so these players are stretched a little bit thin. I think their fitness levels are great. They just need a little bit of rest to like catch up to the levels that are required of the Premier League. I expect just win up until we get to United. When we get to United, we'll assess what United are cooking, and then we'll assess what we're cooking as well. But I expect pure wins from this point forward, guys. Let's look at our schedule, actually. And bear with me as well, because I know last time I gave a prediction thing, you know, I got the points right for the most part, but I flip-flopped some of the fixtures. And then I got cooked for my predictions, and then I ended up being right. Let's see. Full match schedule. All right, so we're going up against West Ham. We're going up against Fulham. And we're going up against Brentford. And then United. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Okay, so from here until international break, which, guys, believe it or not, we've got 2 more weeks of Premier League football, and then we're hitting an international break already. It's actually crazy how these games are scheduled. West Ham, Fulham, 6 points. 6 points. If we go into international break with 7 points on the board, I think we're off to a good start. And then when we come back, oh my God, these international breaks are ridiculous. And then when we come back, we have Brentford, United, Brighton, Liverpool, and then we go into another international break. So what I'm trying to get at is, guys, I do think there's a good amount of points on the table there. And our first test is going to be against United because we are going to Old Trafford. But our biggest test is going to be against Liverpool, and we're at home. Now, we all saw the team we saw at Club World Cup. We saw how fluid it was, how quick pace it was, and how good it can be. And all of us know, okay, especially the ones that went to the game. All of us know, I'm not trying to say match-going fans better than this and that, right? But all of us that went to the games and actually followed the tournament, we all know how serious that tournament was. In the beginning, it was a little bit, here and there, and some teams were just, run through the, walk in the park, right? No disrespect. But it was, for lack of a better term, I listen, I know you're not going to like him right now, but hey, Fofana. That's another thing. Chelsea fans are too concerned with players' social media. Listen, I don't even entertain it when it's an opposition team, but it's just a weird phenomena. Parasocial much. But anyways, I do think that we can get back to that level. It wasn't an easy tournament. when it got to the later rounds. We took it a lot more serious, and the other teams took it a lot more serious. There was money on the line, so these players did actually like try their best to put performances up. And I do think we can get back to that level. We just need a little bit of time to flesh in some of these newer players to really adapt to the system. And we need to find better workarounds. We need players to step up as well. Like, let's be honest. Enzo Fernandez's performance against Crystal Palace was not good enough. And we need him to step up if we want to be anywhere we need to be. And if he doesn't step up, Andre Santos is there to take your chain. I'll be real, guys. Like I know you guys know that I like Enzo Fernandez, but you also know that I will be realistic about these things. And Enzo Fernandez's game against Crystal Palace, even his game against AC Milan, were not good enough. In the Club World Cup, I give him the benefit of the doubt because he did create some chances that nothing was made of, and if you don't make anything of those chances, people don't remember those chances. I did rewatch that game, so I paid closer attention to what Enzo was doing. He was in his left forward position. That's a really awkward position for him, but regardless, he made what he could of it. He did press a lot, and he did try to create some passes here and there. But yeah, that's not the case for AC Milan and for Crystal Palace, right? So I do feel that maybe Enzo could be just a slow start to the season kind of player, because he did this last season as well. And then as the season progresses, he warms up into the game, he warms up into the routine and the rhythm, and he just gets better and he gets into his momentum, and it's hard to stop him once he gets into his momentum. But if he comes good, I think we'll be just fine. And that him coming good might also be in part to do with that center back, right? Because you need to be able to receive passes. You need to be able to get those passes from your center backs and your defense to connect to the attack. But we'll see what happens with him. And it's not like we don't have options as well. Like, we do have an Andre Santos who I do think can do a job. We do have an Esteval who I do think can fulfill a job as well until Gittins adapts to the system. And not to say that Esteval has adapted to the system. I do think Esteval is ahead of a lot of people when it comes to adapting to the system. And so he can a little bit more easily climatize himself into the game. And onto Cole Palmer as well. I do think he's going to step up this season. I think he's going to have a wonderful season. And I think when you have someone like Esteval, who is also a threat on the ball, who is also someone that can take attention away from him, it gives him a lot of liberty. And I think, guys, you need to remember, and I don't want to make an excuse of this, the players need to do better anyways, right? But we just spent the summer playing on much bigger pitches than the Stamford Bridge, right? I do think that does play a factor. It's not an excuse. You need to do better. But that also plays into the idea that maybe we need to fine tune a little bit and adapt a little bit to the fact that Stamford Bridge has a smaller pitch. You're not going to get away with as much open space as you did at MetLife against PSG. You're not going to get away with lobbing the ball overhead because you don't have as much space to run into like you would in the American stadiums, right? So his passing needs to get better. His movement on the ball needs to get better. And I think it will, especially considering he's going to have more time on the ball because there'll be another threat on the right-hand side taking away a lot of the attention on Cole. And the fact that they can interchange as well, making it a lot more confusing for the opposition to really pick up or man mark. And that's what I'm hoping Maresca does in the next game against West Ham. Listen, it's enough of an opposition that, yeah, you need to be careful, but also enough of an opposition that you could probably get away with a few things here or there. And listen, guys, like I said, until international break, no excuses. It needs to be 6 points. 7 points total, and I'll be okay with it because other clubs are going to drop points. You have Arsenal going up against Liverpool next, I believe, or in this break. You have City. Actually, let me go check out the schedule because again, one thing I don't want to make the mistake of doing this season again is just focusing on our club. All right, when it comes to a title race, yes, we need to pick up points. We need to be on top of things, but we also need to take into perspective how other clubs are doing. City, pardon me, City are up against Tottenham. Now, say what you want about Spurs. They started off the season pretty well. They are linked with Eze. They are linked with Savinho. Let's see who they get. But they have a Kudus now. And Kudus is not a joke, especially if Solanke comes in and he gives Solanke chances to score. I could see a good partnership forming between the both of them. And Kudus is a game changer for Tottenham. That's the simplest way to put everything, right? I do think Tottenham, and especially because Tottenham is City's bogey team, you could potentially see a Tottenham, take the wind out of City's sails right now. As much as I love Cherky, and you guys know how much I appreciate Cherky, he might not even start because of Pep being Pep. I do think Spurs can potentially beat City. And I'm actually going to predict that because I have to do my predictions tomorrow. But yeah, so there's that, right? So that's a tough game for them. We have a potentially they could drop points. Newcastle against Liverpool. Newcastle, despite the Isak situation, is not an easy side to go up against. Liverpool didn't look too great against Bournemouth. They're only going to go up against a team that has a better defensive structure and probably better structure overall than Bournemouth. That could be a tough game where Liverpool could potentially drop points. After that, before our international break, we have Liverpool Arsenal. Okay? And then on top of it, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm really worried about. So we have easy fixtures, is what I'm trying to say. Or not even easy, but I'll say winnable fixtures. With that being said, we need to do better, obviously, about picking up those points, like I said. And just keep in mind that other teams are going to drop points this season. Like, I don't expect any team to go invincible this season. I don't expect any team to be unstoppable this season. I think the league is competitive enough that if you do slack, if you do get caught lacking, you can drop points. And that includes us as well. Like, we need to be on top of it the whole season. We can't let go of the gas pedal. Even though we have Champions League, and that's going to play a big factor, but we have enough squad depth to be rotational and have a pretty decent side at all times. This isn't like last season. Last season, I was convinced we had a good B team, and I found out the hard way through Newcastle that we don't have a good B team. This season, we've seen these B team players play, and they're up to a certain level. Like, they're pretty good players. By themselves, a whole entire B team, I don't think I'm 100% convinced that they're unstoppable or as good as our A team, but it's not too far off either. So we have a really good team. We have a lot of squad rotation available, and I think we're going to do all right as a result, and that's going to help us out. And we'll see when Premier League or when Champions League starts, how it affects the team. But I have faith that we're going to do all right. And listen, again, Crystal Palace isn't a great result, right? 0-0. It's a good result in the sense that we didn't drop points, or we did drop points. We didn't lose, so we got 1 point. But they're a decent side that could have beaten us that day as well. Like, let's be real. We did get a little lucky with the whole Gahey call. So I'm not going to worry about it. We did lose the first game of the season last season and then went on to go on the streak that we were on up until December, where not myself, but many fans were saying we're in a title race. We're in a title race. So these conversations are going to change very, very quickly depending on how results happen before international break. And with that being said, like, guys, it's the first game. It's not that big of a deal. We didn't lose, right? We should have won. I understand. But we're going to have players coming back from injury. Wesley Fofana, Tosin, players that we could potentially, are going to make a difference. And listen, have the short-term memory you want, all you want about Wesley Fofana. Just remember, he is a good center back. I understand people are a little, and it's weird. It's a weird frustration to have. I'm not happy with how Fofana dealt with his hamstring injury last season. But outside of that, I'm not going to get mad at Fofana for being injury prone. Like, it makes me so curious to see how this fan base would have reacted if we had Neymar. Like, would you have been so, against the signing if you knew how injury prone he was? I'm not saying, like, Wesley Fofana is Neymar's level of talent. He's not. But he is a very good player when he's fit. we've just not had him fit. But I'm not going to get mad at Fofana for not being, fit all the time. Some players are just riddled with injuries. Would I have signed him for the amount that we signed him for initially? Probably not. And it was a risk that we took, and we just, now we have to pay for it. That is what it is. But when the player is available, let's hope that he performs. This is one of the only fan bases I know of that like gets so mad at players when they're injury prone players. It's really weird. Like, myself somewhat included in this. I say somewhat because I wasn't totally out of it, but there was a lot of people that wanted to get rid of Reece James last season, and he was an injury prone player as well. So like, this fan base is so volatile against players who do suffer from a lot of injuries, and it's a weird phenomenon. Like, it makes me curious to see how this fan base would have reacted if we did have a Neymar in this team. Because we all know Neymar is a very injury-prone player, but when he is available, he fucking lights up the world. But yeah, it's just, that's a side tangent, and that's probably another conversation we can have for another day. But yeah, ladies and gents, don't worry, we'll be fine. Let's see how these next 2 games play out. And listen, I'll be here ringing the alarm bells if I see something that doesn't make me happy, right? If we only pick up this 1 point and lose the next 2. Oh, that's not looking good. That's not looking good at all. And so we will discuss it. But all right, let's read your comments and let's get the hell out of here. Like I said before, big up to every single one of you. Nayandu is absolutely right. It's 1 game, brother. I'm not panicking. I'm just, clickbaiting because that's a YouTube game and I need you guys to click on the video. Otherwise, you don't show up. And I clearly failed because there's only 34 of you guys here today. Anyways, big up Coco. Do I blame the manager for the draw with his shite setup and late subs? I mean, he's part to blame. Obviously, in hindsight, I feel like Delap probably would have been a better shout to go up against those center backs like LaCroix, Richards, Gay, who are very, very physical center backs. But at the same time, if you didn't play João Pedro, many people would have questioned, why'd you drop Pedro? He's on good form. You don't drop a player when they're on good form. So it's a lose-lose, really, for the manager. Like, he could have played the lap and done better, but people would have criticized him for not playing Pedro, who is on good form. Or you keep Pedro and you get the result that you get. And then when the lap comes on, you see, the physicality was very much needed. And on top of it, with Acheampong, he did his job. I don't know what else you would have changed. Maybe sub out Enzo sooner. But you know what Enzo's capable of doing. And so you want to give him time to prove that he can do that rather than acting rash and putting in a player who you're still getting to know in that situation where you need a win. And Enzo can come through with that last minute winner with that, ball in the box, ninjas type of shit, like sneak in there and score a goal. So it's one of those, like, I understand putting accountability on the manager on that one because it should have been a better setup. Professor Marshall's English class is in session. Yeah, it was a very short session, for short-lived career there. Acheampong's build-up at center back, I had no issue. Okay, that makes one of you because a lot of people did not like it. Child's build-up at left center back is where I had the issue. That's LHS. That left-handed side stunk since we don't want to use his left foot. Since you don't want to use his left foot. Yeah, maybe. I remember there was a time where Chalobah was actually decent from passing out the back. I don't know what happened. But time will tell. We'll see. I don't think we should rush into the window to get a center back. JP, I'm sorry if you think it's a crazy take. I think it's a totally normal take. I even said it last in the January window that I don't think we need to do anything, and it ended up working out. Obviously, I got lucky on that one. I will admit, I'm not going to say I was like 100% saw the vision, but it turned out we weren't in as bad of a situation as people were making it out to be, and I don't think we are in this situation either. Cowell isn't coming back for a whole season. Yeah, that's fine. We can make do without Cowell for the whole season. And not even for the whole season, but we can make do without that center back position or that Cowell profile, at least until January, where we can reassess and then potentially recall Mamadou Sarr. You know, Mamadou Sarr is someone that can play in that position. Will he do it well at Chelsea? I don't know. And some of you guys laugh when I say Aaron El Somino. I don't know why. Have you guys seen him play? Because I haven't. So why the fuck do you laugh when I mention it? And I say, like, listen, there have been players that have come into this team that I have not seen play, like Acheampong. There are players that have come into this team that I have not seen play, like Esteval for the team, like Gittins, like whatever, and they impress people. So why is it any different for Aaron Anselmino? So Aaron Anselmino could potentially come into this team and do a number. We won't know until we actually see him play. I'm not going to hold my breath. That's something I'll admit. I'm not going to hold my breath. But, and I'll check that in a second. But again, you have to see what options you have and see what they can do. And that's why I will say, so stupid, I swear to God. That's why I'm going to say that it's all comma. Let's not act rash. Let's not act out of disparity. And let's not... Oh my God. What the fuck? Yo. Yeah. Oh my God. Ain't no way. Ain't no. Oh my God. Yo.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Shut it down, people. Shut it down. Shut it down. All right, listen. I know this isn't a new show. I'll come back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'll come back to what I'm talking about right now. Let me just look at something real quick. Because I didn't realize this when I came on the stream, guys. I wasn't paying attention to the news today. But let me... Oh, this is perfect. I love this. Okay. Okay. Just one thing I wanted to point out that I didn't even realize happened, guys. You guys are probably ahead of me when it comes to this stuff. All right, let me show you. Real quick. I didn't realize this actually happened. So Eze went to Arsenal an hour ago. It was announced. Here we go to Arsenal. Spurs. You're just gonna have to hold that, Spurs. Hold it. Y'all stink. Sorry, JP. I haven't been reading the chat. I'm doing my thing and then reading the chat afterwards because I don't want to go over an hour, but it looks like I'm going over an hour slightly. But yeah. So Spurs, hold that. Oh, I have a perfect clip for this. If I'm a Spurs fan, this is probably how I'm reacting. One more time. Spurs gonna Spurs. And guys, this just happened just now. Fucking Fabrizio Bumba. All this bullshit about fucking Garnacho, you fucking fraud, Fabrizio. Twist your fucking nips yourself, you dickhead. Julio Enciso will join Blue Coat Group, spending this season at Strasbourg, then joining Chelsea. Here we go. Season 25-26 in France and then future at Chelsea. Contract until 2031 plus option until 2032. 20 million euro. Wow. That's surprisingly cheap coming from Brighton, right? He played at Brighton, or he was he didn't play at Brighton, but we hold on. Let me see what team he's at right now. Yo, this fucking website sucks. So he was at Brighton he was in Ipswich on loan and then came back to Brighton. So we actually got a bargain from Brighton. Look at that. So yeah, Enciso, who can play that left-handed side, is looking like he's more of attacking mid. But yeah, he can play the left-hand side. It looks like potentially Garnacho was a goddamn smokescreen. Look at that. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. But this is a player that we're going to get next season for that left-hand side and maybe the attacking mid, right? He can play both. And maybe we don't need a Garnacho. Because let's be honest, guys. Again, based off of what this team does, right? I'm doing this completely off of patterns, right? You look at the pattern. They didn't hesitate to meet the asking price for Jamie Gittins. But they aren't meeting the asking price for Garnacho. What does that tell you? To me, it tells me that they actually really wanted Gittins, so much so that they're willing to meet the asking price. They don't like Garnacho as much because they're not willing to meet that asking price. They're steadfast on 25 million pounds. They're steadfast on 25 million pounds, or maybe even euros, to be honest. And they're going to stick to that because they know that player doesn't want to be there. They know that that player is twerking for Chelsea, and they know that eventually United will crumble. They need the money more than we do, and they need to get rid of that player more than we need to bring that player onto our team. Listen, we can play Gittins on the left wing. We can put Neto on the left wing if we need be. Even Esteval, to an extent, can play that left wing. We've seen Palmer play that left wing. We have solutions. We have workarounds. Even Tariq George, if you want to put Tariq George on the left wing, if we decide to keep him instead and not loan him, even he can play that left wing. We're not desperate for Garnacho. Garnacho seems to me as an opportunity buy. So guys, don't listen to Fabrizio, except for now. Listen to him right now. Here we go in Ciso. Yo, and he is going to cook at Strasbourg. He is actually going to cook at Strasbourg. Guys, keep an eye for Strasbourg. They're in Europe, Conference League. Rossignol is actually a fucking good manager. Pay attention to Strasbourg this season because I think they're going to go places. And then we're going to get this player after a season of honing his craft at Strasbourg, along with Paez and potentially Penders and Mamadou Sarr. Bro, we have 4 transfers in for next summer before the transfer window even began. Dude, this is good. This is I like this. I like this kind of recruitment. I do like this kind of recruitment. Thinking ahead of the game. 5. Sorry. 5 transfers. I forgot to count Quenda. We have 5 transfers. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Satpave, you're right. Satpave is potentially another one. I think Satpave goes to Strasbourg first, but we'll see. But potentially 6 transfers before the other next transfer window even starts. So we're working ahead of the game, guys. We're working ahead of the game. I'm not too worried about our team going forward, but we do need to perform and we do need to be patient in the way we're reacting to the window and all that stuff. All right, let me continue catching up to chat. But yeah, big up to you guys because what the hell happened to all my comments? Are you serious right now? Okay, there we go. It's pulling up now. Fucking weird. All right, anyways. But yeah, big up to Dark and everyone who pointed out Fabrizio Bamba. That's an actual Bamba right there. Holy shit, bro. That's wow. But yeah, Kobel isn't coming back for a whole season. Yeah, it's fine. We'll be fine. I think we'll have Tosin who can do a decent job. He's not going to be as good as passing as Colwell is, but he can play in the middle. And if he stays fit, we can find solutions, guys. We have solutions in-house. Let's see if the next FA Cup or Carabao Cup, the Carabao Cup, actually. Next Carabao Cup game or an easy Champions League game, we can put Enzo Mino in there and see how he plays, and then we can judge that as well. Achimpong also played that. Be patient. Let them refine their craft. They can improve on the passing ability and maybe dictate games better in the future. But we need to be patient. We have one excellent center back, Tosin back up in that role, then Chalobah decent. The rest I wouldn't rate. Josh is just a kid, needs time. I agree. Well, I don't know about the wouldn't rate, but Josh is a kid and he does need time. If Maraska asked for another center back and publicly stated it, then clearly the center back situation isn't fine. He did the same thing about striker and winger last season, though. That's what I'm trying to get at. And he made do. I know it's not ideal. JP, if it was up to me, I'd give him just whatever he wants, but it's not it's not detrimental. It's not the end all be all. And if the center back option that is needed for the team isn't out there, don't settle for less, because that's how you get Fofanas. That's how you get your Badiashilas. That's how you get your Mudriks. That's how you get your Jadon Sanchos. That's how you get your João Felixes, players that don't fit the system. So I think I've garnered enough trust in the directors to say, let's see how they cook. I'm not going to trust them entirely. I am still going to question things, but let's see what they come up with. Let's see what the plan is. Okay, so then our expectations can't be title race then. You can say your expectation is in title race, but even without the center back, I'm going to say we should still be in a title race, because let's be honest, not everyone's teams are fully fit either. So let's see how it plays out. I am willing to be patient. I'm willing to see if it plays out and if it works. And again, let's not forget that players can adapt their game and players could potentially improve as the season goes on. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to be down and out in the dumps saying, oh, we have no chance. If you want to do that, if you want to play negative ball again, then by all means do that. But just remember that last season, Maresca was asking for a striker. Maresca was asking for a winger. At some points, he was even asking for a better midfielder when Enzo Fernandez wasn't stepping up. So if you want to play that game, then go ahead and play that game. I think my manager is competent enough to find a solution some way or another and figure out some way to make it work, because you're not always going to be in an ideal situation. And let's be honest, you're not always going to have a fit team. So the answer when your team isn't fit can't always be to go to the transfer window and patch it up. You have to find internal solutions. Any good manager can do that. And I think Maresca is a good enough manager that he can do that. We have lots, but most not good. Clear them out. Center backs, I don't blame you. Maresca way of finding solutions, get another center back. He asked for it. It's okay. I'm not going to continue to reiterate what I was saying. Bro, Levi Cole is irrelevant. We can't just not get another center back because Cole is coming back. That's ridiculous. We have center backs. Use them. I would rather have 2 Cole level CBs than 10 below average. Okay. He's out for a whole season. Damn. Listen, last I checked, Cowell isn't Caicedo. I know he's important to the system, but I think Tosin can do a job as well. Like, again, Cowell isn't the end-all be-all factor. I'd be more worried if we lost Caicedo. I'd be more worried if we lost Cucurella. I'd be more worried if we lost João Pedro or Delap. I'd be worried if we lost Cole Palmer. So, again, I think people are being overdramatic. JP, you're one of them. Okay, last season, it was same problem. Long balls over the head of Cucurella, while Cowell too much on the right, covering for Acheampong. One of those long ball chances resulted in a goal. Yeah. I also want to remember, it wasn't that long ago that we were saying Cowell was shit. He was shit for most of the season, and we still got by just fine with top 4. So again, if the ownership are okay with top 4, then that's their prerogative. I want to challenge for the league, and I still think we could challenge for the league without Cowell. Like, I never heard anyone tell me that you need someone like Cowell to be able to challenge for the league. Like, I've never heard anyone say that. In fact, most people were saying last season we can't challenge for the league with our defense, which I disagreed with. But now apparently we can't challenge for the league without Cowell. But last season it was without the defense. So which one is it? It's just a little confusing for me, guys. He's just a Shamrock fan. He's just a Shamrock fan. And Shamrock fan. Prime once said he would rather have Shamrock win the UCL. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like Prime like that. Prime walks back his takes often, very often. Marshall, what are your expectations for the season? Then you really think the center backs we have can last 38 plus games and still have a title race with our best center back being out for the whole season? Yeah, I do think so. Cool. End of discussion. We move on. Arsenal and Liverpool find a way to win that Palace game. We are not the team we think we are. Cool, T1. Maybe we're not. But Liverpool didn't find a way to beat that Palace team, and Man City didn't either. So take what you will. We got a draw, and those two teams lost against them. So we'll see. We'll see how the season plays out. It's only game 1. I don't know if you can call it luck. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, but Liverpool have experience in winning games like that. Sure. They did quite a bit last season. They found a way to win. Yeah, cool for them. Chiesa was their way to win. We'll eventually get that gene and we'll be just fine. They consistently do that. That's the difference. So it wasn't luck. It was a little bit of luck. You can't just say it wasn't luck. Like the fact that the ball landed in front of Chiesa the way it did and that defense was so disorganized. I bet you they don't do that against Crystal Palace. I bet you they don't even do that against Arsenal. Like, you got to admit sometimes it is luck for these other teams. Bournemouth away was ugly as fuck. Yep. They do that a lot. It's never over until the final whistle. Yep. Chelsea have a big second win, must win. I agree with Vader. We do have to win the next one. What's the Fofana deleting picks, Chelsea picks on Insta? So, context for this, ladies and gents, because people obviously want to ignore the context, which is so convenient. Fofana deleted all Chelsea pictures and videos on his Instagram, except for the one when he just started at Chelsea. So I don't know exactly what that means, but what it looks like from the outside looking in is he kind of wants to just start fresh. And that's a speculation a lot of people have had. Fofana, like all of us, is very well aware that he's on a thin line with this fan base. And he's on a thin line at Chelsea, period. He's been injured more times than available as a Chelsea player. And that's not acceptable. And I understand why fans get frustrated. What I never understand is how fans can then hate on a player. Because now there's just straight up agendas out there. Which, listen, I can have my opinion, very much like Curry Pirate, big up. Curry Pirate, me, and many other people on the panel can have their opinions about what we think we should do with Fofana. But I don't think anyone on the panel is going to go out of their way and say Fofana is shit. He is a horrible player. He needs to leave Chelsea, yada, 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 just based on the fact that he's not available. And none of us really over dramatize anything he does. Like, Fofana in the Chelsea fan base can take a step in the wrong direction, and people are going to say, look, he wants to leave the club. He's starting all this shit. He's doing drama. He needs to go. Get him out. Get him out. That's not the right reaction. And it doesn't help any situation. Whether you like it or not, Fofana is a Chelsea player. He's going to be at Chelsea. And if you want him to be gone, that's fine. If you want to sell him, that I get that, right? But to demand he gets sold, to say he's shit, to say he is not wanted at Chelsea, he's not good for Chelsea, yada, yada. Well, okay, maybe those last two are probably better examples. But to say he must leave Chelsea, he's shit, he's a disgrace to Chelsea, all this and that. I think that's pushing it. I think that's borderline just becoming abusive and just having an agenda. He's a good player when he's fit. You will soon remember. I guarantee you. Clip it. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Mark my words. When he plays, give it like 3 to 5 games. Chelsea fans are going to soon be reminded of how good Fofana is. You will see the clips. You will see the montages. You will see the Twitter accounts saying, oh, look at this Fofana. Look at how good he is. This guy just reminded us how class he is and all this shit. The what's the word I'm looking for? The rhetoric around Fofana is going to turn around so quickly. It's going to turn around faster than Lavia does turnarounds or whatever the fuck, the half turns. There you go. Yeah, so there you go. I wouldn't be so fixated on getting another center back if Maresca didn't specifically ask for one. Oh, Jesus Christ. JP, let it go, man. The getting slander after less than 1 PL appearance is crazy. I do think he's not ready, Coco. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's shit. There's a good player there. You can tell. But He needs time. I'm not worried after the Palace game. That's not an issue for me. Big up. Yeah, that's good. My issue is Maresca not getting pieces he needs to get us to the next level, which, again, he asked for last season as well. Tottenham made contact with Xavi Simons a few days ago, but he's set on Chelsea. Yeah, we know that. Enzo Fernandez's performance was unacceptable and visible for 70 minutes. Yeah, you're not wrong. If he's not fit, don't play him. I don't know if he's not fit, but he did look a little sluggish. But at the same time, like, then how do you get him fit, Casey? You have to play these. You have to give these players minutes to get fit. So, what are we doing? He might not be match fit, but then how do you get him fit? Like, you need to give him minutes. And before you even say, then give him 20 minutes off the bench, eventually you're going to have to give him 70 minutes. You can't do that off the bench. So, again, no harm, no foul. I mean, we didn't lose, which is good. We should have won, but we didn't lose. Time and another center back. I think just be patient, and JP, you will slowly but surely. And listen, JP, if I'm wrong, then I'll hold my hands up and say, JP, you're right. We should have got another center back. I did it in the January transfer window when I said, give it time, we'll be fine. And then we lost both our strikers. And then I was like, you know what, guys, I was wrong. So I'll hold my hands up. But I'm digging my heels on the fact that we're going to be fine without another center back. We don't need another center back. Honestly, you can tell how Cole Palmer will play for 90 minutes based on the first touch of the game. No. This is pure waffle. That's what we need. Our playing out the back was awful versus Palace, and a big part of it was a center back. We'll see. Cole Palmer was awful. Yeah, he was. If Palmer has a bad 90 minutes, it's like playing with 10 players. He was marked out of the game by Wharton, who's a really good player, and Hughes, who is just a piece of shit. Caicedo running around, putting out fires, and Fernandez and Palmer having stinkers. Balance was all wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I'm expecting, even Caicedo wasn't that great, but that's partially because of what you said. I'm expecting a much better performance against West Ham. Yep, me too. Enzo does same job. I would rather a team passing faster move forward. Fair enough. Eze is going to Arsenal, Marshall. That's when you said it. Okay. Enzo Fernandez has minimal output during the 90 minutes. I don't know if I agree with that. If you're talking just since he's been at Chelsea. Anyways, got the here we go today. Okay, you did say that, JP. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat. Richarlison would be the number one striker. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. That'd be a weird call. Spurs being Spurs fumble the bag and even the transfer window. Yeah. Yandu even said it. And Ciso, here we go to Blueco. Okay. Big up Yandu. This is why I wanted a goalkeeper and center back, Marshall. When you asked me, we need a center back. Not quite good enough yet. Yeah, let's see what happens with the goalkeeper situation, because maybe this season is a much improved season on Sanchez than last season. I'm not holding my breath on it. I'm waiting for the first real error that leads to a goal. He got lucky last game that the decision wasn't called. To an extent, I feel like he got lucky, but to another extent, I was like, that's just it's a tough one to save because you don't see the ball and it's coming in so fast. And he probably doesn't have Courtois or fucking Casillas reaction time. Or Neuer for that factor. Sanchez back to his nonsense on the ball. Well, yeah. I'm going to keep preaching that because our best one is out for the season. I don't want to do all right, though I want to compete, and I think we will compete. It's not a choice, for fuck's sake. What's not a choice? Fofana is a good center back. We need a center back. You heard Maresca's quotes and how poor he was playing in the center. Let's see what happens with Acheampong, because when Acheampong came out of the game, he said it was very, very good. We got lucky against Palace. To an extent, yes. Palace also got lucky we didn't have our shooting boots on. So it goes both ways, people. Oh, come on, StreamYard. What the fuck? My StreamYard's not working, people. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Give me a second, guys. I read that one. I got fed up with the James situation, but it was because we were depleted of right backs, not because of James personally. Wait, what? I got fed up with the James situation, but it was because we were depleted at right back, not because of James personally. Are you referring to since Gusto came in, or like before Gusto, like when Tuchel was here, because we had Acheampong last season, we had Gusto. The season before that was only Gusto, which was a little worrying because at points it felt like we were, overrunning him, but we ended up managing it. That was the point of getting Gusto. Big up, good stream as always, TR. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you for joining us. I will say, if we don't get 3 points against West Ham, the panic level increases. I don't blame you. West Ham is a really poor side, so we need to get 3 points there. Pedro had 0 service. Our build-up was too slow. Palace had all the time in the world to plan, double up, and defend. They did defend very well, and they did cut off any passes through the middle. So, yeah, they had a midfield block that was fucking killing us. Bro, even if you got 30 people live, you're the most knowledgeable and calm Chelsea fan I love to listen to. Keep going. You deserve a bigger audience. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. I don't claim to know everything. I try to be calm. I try to be logical. And I try to analyze the game from a rational point of view and not get caught up and say our season's over because we don't have the center back. JP. But I appreciate the very warm comments. Fat post, Marshall. What the fuck? Garnacho smokescreen. Yeah, let's hope it's a Garnacho smokescreen. I'm fucking so sick and tired of this stupid fucking Garnacho shit. It's so fucking annoying. Fabrizio is clearly in the pocket of Alejandro Garnacho. It's so obvious to see. Every day, Garnacho takes a shit shaped like a C. He wants only Chelsea. It's like, shut up, please. Oh my God. I'm so sick and tired of hearing Garnacho every day. Like, you could tell he's sold out. Like, I don't even know. Guys, isn't Ciso a winger? He is a winger. Guys, or he can play wing, I should say. I'm going to say this right now, and I never wish this on anyone, but it's gotten to a point now where, bro, I really hope we don't get Garnacho because I want Fabrizio absolutely mudded. I said it. I want Fabrizio mudded. That's it. I'm fed up with the guy. Every fucking day, Garnacho this, Garnacho shit, Garnacho P. Garnacho has a Caesar salad. Caesar starts with C. C, like Chelsea. He wants Chelsea. Here we go. Like, every fucking time, dude. Like, the credibility has absolutely fucking tanked for Fabrizio. Like, I really, really hope it doesn't happen so that we can stop taking this fucking fraud now seriously. Because it's gotten to that level. Like, I'm so done. I am so done with this guy. He's an absolute sellout, and he's absolutely milking it for everything he can, which kudos to him. I mean, he's making money off of what he does, which is great. It's great to have a career in that. But, oh my God, it's so annoying. Garnacho! He said he only wants Chelsea. Chelsea, very close. Watch Garnacho! Shut up, bro.
Bang average!
It's so annoying. But yeah, I actually want this guy to now be mudded. Please. I hope it happens. More like a 10, I think. Yeah, he can play on the left side. He can play in the middle. But we saw João Pedro and how we use him. He could have been misprofiled at Brighton. He did go on loan to Ipswich. So there's a possibility that he can potentially play in that position as well. So yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Like, fucking Garnacho just annoys me. The plane has landed. Maybe Arsenal are big bro to them. Yeah, maybe. Spurs are even in transfer. And we're signing Enciso, and he's going to Strasbourg. Yo, Enciso to Strasbourg is actually a really good signing. That's a good signing for Strasbourg. He's going to kill it. Kudos so dumb for going there, man. I'm pissed. He's probably... You know what it is? I was talking about this on the... on American Waffle, I think. Or was it no, it wasn't American Waffle. I was talking with Igal, Martin, and Hussam yesterday. And it makes sense. He probably has a better chance of starting at Tottenham. Like, he is their starter, first name on the team sheet, versus Chelsea, where he's going to be rotated. So from that point of view, it makes a little bit of a sense for the player's end. Brighton then went Ipswich on loan. Yep. Brighton, I think. Yeah, he did play at Brighton. Okay. I see what you're saying, guys. Was out alone this season. He was an injury issue at the moment. Yeah, he has a knee injury from what I can tell. Didn't he score a banger against us? He did. He did. That was the Pochettino season. And he really fucking...
I am not a clown.
Mauricio, I can't.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. What happened to my music? Oh, there it is. What? What do you mean by what?
What?
TKL, I think he did. He did. The 21, 22. Oh, there you go. There you go. You guys answered this question. We found a better market opportunity. I'm That's actually great. I'm going to show Staffy in the group chat because he's been on my case about fucking Garnacho. And Ciso is two-time the player of oh my god, Paraguayan shells. If you are here, stand up. Yo, that's actually that's a good shout. Actually, we're building such a strong South American side. Like, think about it. We have this player now, right? Pedro, Esteval, Caicedo, Enzo. We have a strong South American side when it comes to the midfield and up. Asize is the biggest flip signing. You think so? I don't know about that one. He could potentially be a good signing for Chelsea. He's getting flipped for double. He's a good player. Yeah, maybe. Fab is a fraud still. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Ciso is out until October. Looking forward to seeing him play. Yeah, it's not too far away from now. Guys, October is literally like a month and a week away. Kenda 2026. Satpaev 2027. Yeah, that guy looks promising. I'm not going to hold my breath yet. Let's see what he does in Champions League. Paez, no chance. Just in. Tottenham made contact for Xavi Simons. Yeah, I read that already. Smash the like button, guys. You already know what to do. I think you're underestimating how crucial the center back position is and overestimating how good the CBs we have are. No.
We'll be there. Do you care though? We'll be there.
We'll see. I wasn't saying that motion. No for Neto and even Sanchez. Add Gooses to the list. I'm kind of confused. Big up Curry. No, LOL. I won't let it go. Fuck no. What the hell is going on with Man City? Ake to Everton. Really? Is that done? Is Ake gone to Everton? Grealish to Everton. Manuel Akanji to Galatasaray. They will struggle this season. 4th place finish for Pep, in my opinion. I don't disagree. They have not improved on that center back position. They need better center backs, and they've been ignoring it. Very much so. So, defensively, Man City are going to struggle, people. Mark my words. Mark my words. I don't think they're good enough at all defensively, and they've not bolstered. In fact, they just got thinner, and Stones is back for how long? He's an injury-prone player. After Stones, who's next? There's Ruben Diaz is already there with Stones. Actually, let me look at their team right now, actually. Hold up. Vader, if you're listening, I'm gonna unjustifiably break down your team. Let's see. After Stones, they have Kusanov. Oh my god, that's it. Yo, that's actually it. Yo, these guys are cooked. That's it. That's it. Omar Marmoush, Sherky, Nunez, Nico O'Reilly, Kusanov, Nathan Ake, who potentially has gone to Everton, Stefan Ortega, Ilkay Gundogan, Akanji, who's also gone. How? That's it. If Stones goes, it's Kusanov and Diaz. That's, bro, I don't know. We are stacking in the attack. Yes, we are. I think they're relating it to Fofana and Lavia situation. What are they relating to the Fofana and Lavia situation? I'm sorry, TR. Marshall getting that good.
Hey, yo.
Fab is really annoying. Yes, he is. Yo, that Caesar pull was crazy. See Chelsea. Yeah, listen, sometimes I'm cooking. Sometimes I don't cook. I burn the dish. But their attackers now are deadly. Yeah, that's true, JP. That their attackers are deadly. I am jealous. Like, you guys already know how I feel about Rangers. Not Rangers. Vardio's out with an injury right now, JC. That's a good point, though. Vardio is in there. But he's out with an injury. I don't know for how long. But yeah, I like Rangers a lot. I think he's a good player. I like Cherky. You guys already know how I feel about Cherky. That player is so good. I mean, I hope they're cooked, but don't count them out. Yeah, you can't count them out. Cherky is a game changer, but they're gonna have to be like Liverpool, where like they just rely on outscoring opponents versus like, you know, actually keeping a clean sheet and shit. Cherky is a game changer. I agree with you. I think they're relating it to Fofana and Lavi's situation when someone made a comment on giving up on Reece James. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Let's see what happens. I think this season is make or break for Fofana, and I mean that. I'm not going to defend Fofana anymore if he gets another long-term injury this season. And by I mean long-term, like he's out for more than a month kind of thing. You know, like no more. Like it's not sustainable. But if he misses like a game or something, like a knock, I'm not going to hold him to the flame. But he needs to step up now. Like he needs to let... Bro, you got a lot of catching up to do is what I'm trying to say. Same with Cherky. We should have signed him 2 years ago. I agree. Or last year. I don't remember when we were linked. I think it was 2 years ago, Dark. But yeah, I would have loved to have signed him then. And just avoided this whole thing. Because he's such a good player, bro. He is such a good player. And I really think he is going to be... I'll say it right now, guys. I think he's going to be Premier League player this season. That's my shout. He's my shout for Premier League player of the season. He'll eventually start getting starts, but he's my shout for Premier League player of the season. Yeah, he's just that good. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. No more comments. I'm done. Let me find someone to rate out. I've already gone over an hour. It's nice to catch up with you guys. I'll try to get the Casually Chelsea show up and running. Hopefully this weekend. Bear with me as I have 2 shows this weekend. I have a show on Saturday and I have a show on Sunday. So we might run the Casually Chelsea show earlier on Sunday for the sake of having a show. And Friday, we're definitely going to do a review of the match. So keep your eyes posted on that. Big up. We got Enciso, so we're going to talk about that soon on the channel. And yeah. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for participating in the show and helping me get through this. And big up, and I'm going to annoy the hell out of you with my center back takes. Appreciate the stream. Don't do that. That you will eventually get timed out if you really become that annoying. But yeah, if I'm wrong, then we'll discuss. Up to Chelsea. Enjoy the game Friday. Yeah, of course. You guys enjoyed the game on Friday as well. We'll do better. I promise. Well, actually, I shouldn't make that promise because it's not up to me, right? But yeah, we'll do better. I'm sure of it, guys. You know, don't panic. It's only the first game of the season. We lost the first game of the season last season, and then in December, people were saying we were in a title race. So make of that what you will. I think we'll be just fine, guys. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here as well. Also, check out the links in the description below because it does help out with the channel tremendously, and you can see more content on there as well. And check out memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and at the proper casual tier and higher, you get a shout out at the end of every show, and that's going to go out to the following people: Not Yandu, Morning Zombie, Mo Beta, JBs, Gabriel Mejia, Lanre Sadiq, A Soliman, Dark, EE, and Adrian. Be more like these people. These are proper Chels, proper casual. All right, proper casual. Be a proper casual by checking out the memberships because it does help us out tremendously. We're gonna raid out the Sarcasm City, ladies and gents, and you know what to do. Copy and paste the raid message. Let them know where you're coming from, and show them some love. All right. We'll be back again on Friday to react to our match. It should be a win. Up the Enciso, fuck the Garnacho, and as always, C for Chelsea, C for Caesar salad, all that fun stuff. Have a wonderful night, and as always, stay casual. Peace.